Hey, there we go. I think we got it. We all here? Let's get Facebook kicked off so we know we're ready to go. All right. There we go. We're here finally. Only took 2 tries tonight. Kind of miraculous. So we started at 7:28 and got on time. Looks like Facebook is connecting as well. So, hey, everything is alive and working at this point. No promises beyond right now, but as of right now, we're up and going. We'll take it. We'll go with it. So anyway, let's see. Several of you here and ready to go already tonight. Hubcap is on. Pete's here. Kevin L is ready to go. Neil made it tonight. Glenn's here. Glad to see you guys all back. Frank's here, ready to go. Back for some more Gearhead Interactive live chat. You guys keep coming back, so we keep doing it. I guess that's a good thing, right? Ron made it tonight. Okay, looks like we're ticking on Facebook as well. And let's go ahead and get rolling with tonight's chat. First off, before we get too deep into anything, as always, a little bit of housekeeping we always try to catch. Autocorrect, please double check. Autocorrect, make sure it does not change your comment into something else. I try to catch most comments. I miss some, but if autocorrect changes it into something I can't understand, I have to skip it because I don't have time to stop and try to figure it out. Charles is here. Jim made it. Steve's here. Dad's on. If you're on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, as always, I cannot see those comments. If you want to hang out there and watch, you are perfectly fine. However, if you want to participate in the chat, participate in any of the auction items, then you'll need to be on the Nobody's Show or the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody's Show YouTube channel. Those are the only 2 sets of comments I can see. If you were on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, please remember I cannot see your comments. So, John from South Texas made it. Billy Bowman's here tonight. Sam's on. Good to see some familiar names popping back in with us. Trolls, we do occasionally get some trolls on here. You guys do a great job of making sure they know they are not welcome and running them off. Ads, we do deal with ads. It is YouTube's system. There isn't much we can do about it. It's their baby. So that's all we can do is deal with it. Big Job made it tonight. And as always, we have the Supercharged Super Chat badge warmed up. For any Super Chats that pop up, we whip out the Supercharged Super Chat badge, the original 1936 Auburn Supercharged Hood badge for any Super Chats that pop up. We do have our Hudson badge and our other Auburn badge ready to go tonight. Hey, there's Kenny. And as always, welcome to any new viewers for stopping by. If you're new to us, sound off so we can welcome you for stopping by the chat and hope you have a good time. So let's go ahead and get moving. One of the more interesting things that has happened this week. As most of you are aware, Motor Trend was once again sold. I don't remember when it was, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Hearst Media bought it. And a few months ago, I was contacted by Stephen Rupp, which is the guy that I've been working with at Hot Rod for probably the last 5 years off and on. Hadn't talked to him much over the last year or so, but he got back in touch with me and said, hey, new management, new ownership, new attitude, new direction, and which is all a good thing. Hot Rod's been around a long time. And, after it was sold out here a couple years ago, it didn't seem like there was much happening, but he said the new ownership, the new management, and the new direction is seems to be turning back the right way. Now driving a 29 Shea replica. I assume that's a Shea replica is what that means. So anyway, we got back on track. He's waiting on some more stuff from me, but Hot Rod, if you go to hotrod.com right now, you're going to see a car that probably looks familiar if you've been watching the videos. The Twister Mustang that Jim Wicks found last year that hadn't been out of the garage since the early 80s. Actually, this whole weekend has been top dog on hotrod.com. So pretty cool to see that stuff popping up on there and seeing it, seeing some of the work that we've done, get some pretty big pretty national recognition like that. Rusty Okie, Andy stopping by tonight. So check out hotrod.com and you'll at least last time I did it the other day, that Twister pops up right in your face first thing. So So it's always cool to see that type of information, the work that we do on some of these cars, whether it's Wix's car, stuff that I found, different things. It's really cool to see it get some big time attention like that. So check it out. And Steve did a nice article on the car as well. And always cool to see that stuff happening. Hey, there's Jason Bradshaw. Real quick too. Totally VW. Randy's here. Buick Man made it. Next week, Labor Day weekend. As far as I know, I'm going to be in town. What do you guys want to do? You guys let me know what you think. Do we want to go on next weekend? Are most of you guys busy next weekend? Just kind of keep that in mind and let me know what you think. Like I said, I think I'll be here. I don't think it'll be a problem, but if everybody's going to be out of town or if everybody has plans, there's no point in doing it with 3 people either. So you just got, kind of let me know what you guys think as far as whether we want to go. Kevin will be out of town. Hey, there's JP. Jason Bradshaw is busy. So there again, that's why I'm asking. If everybody's busy next week, there isn't, well, except we were going to do the drawing next weekend though too. I hadn't thought about that. So since we're going to do the drawing next week, maybe we will, if everybody's busy, we may do an abbreviated version next week, at least do the raffle and some things like that. So kind of keep that in mind. I'm curious as to what your guys' feedback is on how to do that. Car shows during the day. Okay. John's still planning on watching. He'll be even out of town. Jason's push it out a week. Hey, Alex here with us on Facebook. So there again, we had next Sunday night down as the drawing to give away the valve covers. So you guys tell me what you think you want to do next week. If most people are going to be around or at least plan on getting on, we're going to head and go. We'll definitely go ahead and hoe with it. Definitely go ahead and go with it. 3 people makes it easier to win. Well, there's more than 3 people in the can. It just won't be as exciting as if we draw the name of the winner and they're not on. So. So just wanted to throw that out there. Something else, a little bit of housekeeping. Since it is the end of August, if you have unpaid auction items from anything basically July 31st on back, I am going to clean that tub out. There's not a ton of old stuff in there. But like I've told you guys in the past, I keep a big tub of sold auction items. And if I don't purge that out of stuff that didn't get paid for occasionally, the thing just piles up and piles up and piles up. Hey, there's Kevin. Totally VW is actually not going to be camping on Labor Day weekend. Okay. Dylan's good for next week. Swap meet in Central Oregon. Okay, sounds like fun. So it sounds like a lot of people will be around or do still plan on getting on. So, that doesn't sound like fun, Mark. I hope everything's going good. So if you've got something hanging or you think you've got something hanging, get with me. If there's still something that you bought on an auction a month or so ago, if not, they're just going to get recycled back in and resold. So just wanted to give everybody a heads up in case there's something you were waiting on that so we doesn't get mixed up and get resold and it was something you wanted. F&E Collector Auto Auction. We're starting to get some stuff up on the website. There's 8 or 10 cars up there. I've got more stuff to list this week. And it's coming up. It's going to sneak up on us. There's a ton of stuff going on, and I have been super busy. I've got to get refocused on some of that. And like I said, I know I've got some people. Ron's good next week, okay? So it sounds like a lot of you guys will be around, or at least do plan on jumping on, even if you're going to be out of town. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Randall with a nut farm coming in with the first supercharged super chat of the night. Boom, right there from Randall with the nut farm. Thanks, Nut Farm. Appreciate you kicking the night off. So keep an eye on the website, feclassiccarauction.com. It'd be super cool if some of you guys do decide to make it. Like I said, it is super busy for me that weekend. But I think Rico's planning on coming. Like I said, Pete was talking about coming. So there will be some guys here that to hang out with. If you do decide to come, keep an eye on that website. You never know. We may list something that you want to add to your collection. You may want to take home that weekend as well. But that is coming up. So pictures from from Springfield. Okay, sounds good. We're going to look at the Nobody's page here in just a little bit, Jason. So appreciate that. Woodward Dream Cruise last weekend. Ohio swap meet next week. That's a busy schedule. So anyway, keep that in mind. It'd be great to see some of you guys come out here. We're going to start cranking cars up on the website. Hopefully get that little crawler thing listed this week. He called me Thursday or Friday, and he's got it out. So we're going to get some video of that little crawler zipping around. I don't know a thing about it, but it looks really cool. I can't wait to check it out. So that's right, Big Job. That was a pretty grand entrance. That sounds like a lot of fun, John. I would not argue with that a bit. So going back to something we talked about last week, we need to follow up on. Hudson Badge. The American Oil Can Book. We got into this last week. We're going to be utilizing this quite a bit as we study oil cans. Like I said, this in no way, shape, or form covers all the oil cans out there. It covers a drop in the bucket, but it is a pretty good one. 1,100 quarts in this book. If you weren't with us last week, we spent quite a bit of time flipping through it, checking some stuff out. I did call Tom, the guy that put this book together. There were several of you that expressed interest in getting your own copy, and we will be utilizing it. If we've got cans that we're checking out in our new can segment and they're in here, we'll look them up and we'll talk about them. These books are still available. I don't know how many he's got left. I told him we had 6 or 8 guys that wanted them for sure. He said that's not a problem. I don't know if that means he's got 20 or 200 left, but he does still have some left. So if you guys want one of these, I think probably the easiest thing to do is if I just ordered them all and then started putting them into your auction boxes. Or you can order them direct if you want, but I was thinking I can probably just order 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever you guys want, and then get them here and then add them to the auction box. They're $25 if we do it that way. If I have to ship it separately, it'd be a couple bucks extra. Jeff from Ottawa's here. But basically, if I'm shipping you something else, by the time I ship them to me and then put them in your auction box, they're $25 a piece. And that's what he gets out of them. So anyway, what I'll need to do is to get them ordered, know who wants them. Big Job says he wants one. Hey, there's John Sanderson. Randy Weiniger. Yes, PayPal is fine. Just like I said, friends and family on them like usual. Since this is, I'm not making anything on these things. So, sounds good, Big Job. Charles wants one. The oil can book is available, Andy, if you want one. Kevin L. John Anderson. Kevin Brown. Pete Winters. Ron Levesque. Okay, I've got 8 names down as of right now. Big Job, Randy Weiniger, Charles Fitz, Kevin L., John Anderson, Kevin Brown, Pete Winters, Ron Levesque. So think about it. If it's something you want, I will add it to the list, and I will get a box of them coming this way, and hopefully have them fairly soon, and so we can get them out to you guys, so you guys can start following along in the books as we talk about oil cans. tons of great stuff in there. And when we get to tonight's can, we're going to get into it a little bit more, just like we talked about. This is all quartz, but it talked about some of the other things to look for as far as different types of seams, things like that. Lots of pictures. Hubcap Dylan wants to go put him down for one. Yep, I knew they smashed everything out, Sam, and I think it's done because the rest of the stuff they auctioned off, and I think Brown actually ended up with a lot of the stuff from the auction, so that would be pretty cool. Big Job. So yeah, Big Job's got his drive-in speakers. I've got the list of you guys from last week that wanted them. So whenever, just add them to your payment or whatever, or note on there. If you do want drive-in speakers, they were $45 a pair. I think I've got like 6 or 7 sets, and I've got 4 of them spoke for. So if you want a set of the drive-in speakers like we looked at last week, let me know on that as well. So 9 people down on the books as of right now. If you decide you want one, or when we get to the oil can, let me know. We'll keep adding to the list, and then I'll call him and get him and get a check to him so he can get them sent to me, and then I can get them into your hands so you guys can have fun. Drive-in speakers, add that pay tonight for those 2, please. Okay. So yeah, just keep, and if you want a set, that's fine. I can put Randy down and just make a note on there. They're $45 for a pair. And that's right. Good idea, Kevin. And I did get your check the other day, and it is marked. I've got your envelope right here, marked with the PV on it for Pioneer Village. So if you round up a couple bucks, $2, $3, Kevin did $5 last time. We just add that pile up, and then hopefully we come up with another $500 to maintain our sponsorship on the 5 cars next year. Yes, Kevin, I do have you down on a set of drive-in speakers as well. Perfect, Randy. Sounds great. Got you on the list there as well. Okay, so we've got 9 books as of right now. If that changes, I will definitely add them to the list. But I wanted to let you guys know that they are available and we can get them. I did not have you down, Pete. You are now, though. So, okay. So I've got 6 sets spoke for. I may have 1 or 2 more than that. I need to go through the box, but I'll put anybody down as alternates if I've got more after this. So, okay. One more thing to talk about in our opening chat before we start moving into the nobody's page, new inventory, things like that. I got my advanced copy of the next Old Cars Weekly. I don't know how many of you guys have subscribed to Old Cars Weekly. We talk about it on here quite a bit because I do write for them, work with Angelo. He's actually waiting on me to get some stuff done. However, the next Old Cars Weekly that is coming out, I just got this. You guys will probably have it next week. This is the September 15th issue. But there's something pretty cool in here. Addie and I stopped here. Angelo said, get pictures. Get lots of pictures. So I got lots of pictures. And we talked about this when we were up there last time we went to Pioneer Village. When we went up to give Will the check for your sponsorship on the Pioneer Village cars, we also stopped at the American Automobile Experience in Kearney, Nebraska to check out these. The Hetfield cars. I actually just opened it today, Pete. I hadn't even looked at it yet. So these are all mine and Addie's pictures. So if you don't subscribe to Old Cars, like I keep telling you guys, not just because I write for them, but because they're so diverse in what they publish, I really like it. It's not like a lot of these magazines where it's literally what color's the 69 Camaro going to be next month. They have a lot of cool stuff in here. What was really awesome about this is since Angelo asked me to cover it, when I got to the museum in Kearney, we talked to the volunteers that were working. They contacted their board. They said, absolutely. So what was awesome about it is when Addie and I got back there, they dropped the ropes and we had full access. If you can see in this picture, all the cars were roped off for obvious reasons. But since we were going to take pictures of them for the article, we were able to get all the way around them, behind them, seeing inside of them. It was really, really super cool. The Voodoo Priest, I don't think there are good words to describe the Voodoo Priest. The Voodoo Priest is a car that, Addie has loved for years. She's always liked Zephyrs. The Voodoo Priest is just something special. It really is. The lines, the colors, it is still V12 powered. It's amazing. I mean, all the cars were amazing, don't get me wrong, but seeing Voodoo Priest in person after seeing, tons of pictures of her over the years, but seeing her in person, actually being able to walk around it, check it out, it was pretty cool. So this is coming out in the next issue of Old Cars Weekly. Probably, I don't know if you guys will see it in your mailbox this week or beginning of the next week. But it was really cool to see that come out. Now I just got to get my butt in gear and get these other articles finished that Angelo's waiting on. So, but it was cool. It was really neat. Auburn badge in honor of Slow Burn. Scott's here with us on Facebook. And as a matter of fact, Slow Burn, since we're showing an Auburn badge, we should talk about Slow Burn for a minute. Slow Burn is built on a boat tail speedster body. They actually said this is a Glen Prey car. I sent pictures to Doug. He didn't think it was one of theirs. But they actually, the sign they have with this car said this was done on a Glen Prey car. It's called Slow Burn. It is, and they actually, obviously, you can see on the back of this car, it looks like a boat tail speedster should. They did not want to modify the lines of the car too extraordinarily because the car is so amazing the way it is. So what their goal was to accentuate the lines and the design of the boat tail speedster Auburn, to tweak it, so to speak. So, pretty neat deal. Yeah, it actually says this car was made off of an official Glen Prey car. The fiberglass body was difficult to modify extensively, so James Hatfield and Rick Dorr decided to add details, including a sloped Carson-style convertible top to show off the car's curving lines. So yeah, Kevin, it was pretty cool to have, kind of rock star access, I guess is the best way to put it. And I shot, a ton of pictures. I don't know how many pictures are in this file, but there's quite a few that we took while we were there. But really cool to have that opportunity and that experience to see these cars up close. Yeah, we'll give you a Hudson too. So if you subscribe to Old Cars Weekly, that will become hitting your mailbox soon. Hey, there's baling wire. Yes, it does. The Voodoo Priest does have a V12 in it. Awesome, Randy. Appreciate it. Okay. Moving on. Let's check out that Nobody's page. Jason brought it up a little bit ago. I haven't looked at it in a couple of days. Let's see what you guys have been up to on the Nobody's page. If you are not on the Nobody's page on Facebook, get on there, check it out. We've got 113 people on there. Answer the questions. Andy will get you in. Andy and Zach manage that for us. I don't have anything to do with it. They take care of that so that we all can get on there and show off our stuff. So, ouch, that doesn't look like any fun at all, Glenn. Classic Ride Society video on Springfield. Yeah, we did some stuff with Benny there a couple years ago. So he does have a constant content up on it. It's a sweet picture, Matt. Pendleton, Oregon. That's pretty cool. Estate finds from Oregon. Andy reworking the suspension on the old 56. What Pete find? What do we got here? Pete Leopold. Cream City Pete. Sinpico 5-gallon. I've got some Sinpico stuff. I do not have that one. I do not have Cash App, Mark. The only thing I have electronic is PayPal. That's the only thing I do that's electronic. There's so many of them out there, it's hard to keep up with all of them. All right, what else you guys been up to? Matt's got a mail call package. Not sure what that is. More pictures from the swap meet from Jason Bradshaw. Mini bikes, of course. We know you're going to have mini bikes in your pictures. That's a guarantee. But good looking Lincoln. You know, it's been really weird for me this year. Didn't do Springfield, didn't do Lawrence. You know, that's really odd for me. Oh, nice. That sounds cool. Yeah, throw them up there. I'm sure people like to see them. It's a great picture out of the window of your pickup, too. Zach, 61 Buick. It's a good-looking car. Tony's here. Build this, the little steam engine. Man, a lot of great stuff. Big Rig Brett posting some pictures. Great to see all of the content that you guys are sharing on there and continue to build that group. So if you're not in the Nobody's page, make sure you get in there. A lot of great stuff. You guys are doing a great job with that. So what do you want? Yeah, too much auction stuff, isn't it? Yeah, you can't get over here, can you, knucklehead? Yeah, the auction pile is too big. You can't get around me. Yeah, you. Meow. Meow. Okay, yeah, everybody can check it out on there. See what Hubcap Dylan's up to. Yeah, definitely, John. Get on there, answer the questions. Andy's on. He can get you in right away. A lot of cool stuff happening on there. So, let's talk about new inventory. I did actually pick some cars up this week. I've been buying a ton of cars. It's been a little bit crazy. What? Yes, there's too much stuff there, isn't there? You're not happy. Great Kitty's not happy. Yes, this is the Facebook page, the Nobody's, spelled just like this, where everybody's posting. Mark wants a pair of speakers. Okay. The PayPal information is in the text part of the video, Mark. If when we get done, you click on that. Send it friends and family. Make sure to put a note in there for driving speakers and make sure shipping information's in there. So. 85 Camaro. They wanted 15 grand for that car. I seen a red Camaro on there, but I didn't figure it was 15 grand. I am going to look real quick now. Yep, you can upload your own stuff to it, Sam. That way everybody can see what you've got going. That's what we're talking about. That's why we check it out every week, because that's what people are doing. They're uploading pictures from car shows, swap meets, auctions, their own cars. That's fine too, Mark. Not a problem. There is the mailing address is on there as well. It looked like a decent car, but it looks like a straight Camaro. So I don't know if it'd be, I wouldn't be in it at 15. I know that. Perp walked out of the Wichita airport security for possession of a bowling pin. Yeah, that's true. You just have to be on Facebook, Sam, and you can go in there and post your own stuff. Leo's here with us. Okay, sounds good, John. Oh, you made it over here, huh? You got around the pile. How'd you get around the pile? Did you go in the behind the desk? You must have went under the desk. Okay, come here. You can say hi real quick. Yes, you can say hi real quick to everybody. Then you got to get down, and you're going to try to find your way back around the auction pile because it's big. Yes, you're a goofball. All right, say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Yes. All right, you're going to go sit down and be quiet? You're going to go sit down and be quiet now since you're up here? Yes. All right. You go be a good kitty. Oh, that didn't take. Oh, you didn't like that? Oh, you jumped the whole pile. I don't know if I caught her toe or what, but I snagged something with the chair. Bam! She shot straight over the auction pile. That was actually a pretty good jump. It is actually about 34 inches to the other side of the auction pile. 34 inches and about 16 high at the top, at the high point. So she cleared the whole thing. Okay. New inventory, badge, sales brochure, hubcap, promo model, can, all kinds of cool stuff to go. But before we get going too far, we probably better thin this massive pile down a little bit. Anybody up for that? Should we thin the pile down just a little bit here? Let's start off with something cool, kind of get things boogieing. Hey, David W. made it. Well, I mean, she's been out there wandering around the outside perimeter of it trying to figure out how to get back here. So I just measured the pile. Sam says he can see the comment, but not the post. I'm not sure. There should be. Yeah, I know on mine there's a gray bar so you can write something, type stuff in right there on that No Buddies page, Sam. So you might look at there towards the top. Let's do how about a batch of plates to start with? How about a 3-for-1 deal to kick the auction off tonight? Now, as I think, everything tonight is going to be small stuff. Shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're a non-U.S. buyer, you are welcome to play, but you will have to get me paid in U.S. funds, as well as you will be responsible for non-U.S. shipping, just for the simple fact that we can spend a fortune shipping out of the country, and this thing kind of feeds itself. The money we make from selling stuff, we buy more cool stuff to put in the boxes. So that's kind of how it works. So anybody can play. You can send me a check, money order, Western Union. You can do PayPal, friends and family, whatever works for you. Shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're new to us and there's something that you see that's cool and you want to bid on, but you're not sure what to do, go ahead and throw a bid out there. Call me tomorrow if you win it, and we'll walk you through it. Not a big deal. Let's start off with a set of plates, 3-for-1. No Bitcoin, no IOU. That is true, Big Red. Do not accept IOUs. But we are going to start tonight off with a threefer on license plates. I thought this was kind of cool. I almost thought about selling them individually, but you never see I think it'd be kind of tough to find all three of these. Going up a little bit north to the land of Lincoln in Illinois, starting off with a 1955 Illinois plate, kind of a dark navy blue. Oh yeah, there's a lot left in the yard. Kind of a navy blue with orange letters on this 1955 Illinois. We see some kind of banged up, a little bit of surface rust along the bottom edge. But up here where you're going to look at, where your eye's going to catch most of it, looks pretty good. This is all stamped steel and painted. 1955 Illinois. Going with the 1955 Illinois, you're also going to get another one from the land of Lincoln, the 1956 Illinois. This kind of an off-white with green numbers and letters. Once again, this is a stamped steel plate that is painted. And to wrap up the trifecta of Illinois plates, you're also going to get 1957 in red background with white letters. Once again, a stamped steel plate with painted letters. All three of these, one-shot deal, nice Illinois collection to start off tonight's auction. So, it is the Tri-5 of plates. Glenn starting us off at 25. All right. And we get the phone up here so I can get the timer going. We are going 90 seconds as usual. And we are live on the timer. Mark at 27. I will give you the 30-second mark, the 60-second mark, and then at 90, we will wrap up the winner. Alec at 15, but we're already well past that over here. Mark at 27 is my current high bidder. You are getting all three of them on a one-shot deal. And 30 seconds is gone. Alec, 30. Mark, 34. Glenn, 35. As we hit the 1 minute mark, 30 seconds left to go. We're ticking away. I wonder if some snipers out there. We're going to find out here shortly as we're coming down to the end. We've got Glenn at 35. And that does it. Glenn at 35. And there they go. Mark at 40. I figured there was something else in there, but it didn't come in time, so we're marking them to Glenn at 35. Ron at 50. I figured there was more in there. They just didn't make it. Glenn at 35. Let's catch a cap. Here's kind of a cute little guy for our bow tie fans. I think we've done one of these before, but it's been a long time. This is 52, 53 era Chevy, something like that. Just kind of a nice, clean-looking original cap, original paint in the bow tie, a few little dings, but just kind of a good-looking cap. Check this one out for our bow tie friends. It's just a nice looking piece. It's cute. The blue is original. A little fading, a little chipped. It's got a few little dings in it, but overall, look at this thing. This thing's 75 years old almost. Back looks pretty good. Exactly, John. It's simple and clean. That's exactly right. Just a nice looking cap. Considering its age, it's not beat up. Look great hanging up on the wall. It is about 9 3/4 across here. About 9 3/4 in diameter on this little bow tie cap. So, a couple bids on it already. John at 16 is our high bidder as we hit the timer, and we are live. We got a big pile tonight, so we'll see how much we get through. But we'll be stocked up for next week as well. Ron at 18. And there's 30 seconds. One minute gone. 30 seconds to go. Ron at 18. Taking away, coming out of the wire, Ron at 18. There's Michael Winter stopping by. Kevin, 27. And that'll do it. Kevin Brown at 27. Kevin L at a 20, but Kevin Brown had him covered at 27. Catch one more thing here real quick. We've done some of these. They're all different. They're really cool. This one's kind of a truck-looking one. The super high miler on this little Goodyear tire ashtray. Has the Goodyear logo down in the bottom of it. That is actually painted on the back. This is a Goodyear high miler. It says high miler up here. This thing looks like a truck tire based on the size of it. It is a little bit bigger. It's 6.5. 6.5 in diameter on this Goodyear tire. Has the tread and everything. Twin to the Firestone, yep. So a little bit bigger than some of the other ones we've done. I assume this was probably a truck tire. Let's go ahead and get ready to get this one on the timer and get it going. Write down which one it is. Super high miler. It actually has the little divots where you could rest your cigarette back when they actually used them for ashtrays. Let's hit the timer. We've got Totally VW at 15. It was a truck tire in the 70s. I bet that's 100% right. Mark, 17. Michael, 25. Randy's agrees it's truck tire as well. Sweet. Past the 30-second mark, heading to that minute mark. And then wrapping this up at 90 seconds, I've got 20, Totally VW at 28. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Good, Leo. Glad at least something's hanging in there for you. Big job at 40. That might have been exactly what it was, VW. Few seconds left. And that'll do it. Big job at 40, bringing out the big guns. All right, let's what the heck? Let's do a badge real quick. Yeah, that's about right, Randy. We haven't done one of these in a while. Let's go ahead and do this one real quick, and then we'll get on to some new inventory and some. Oh yeah, the badge tonight's going to be a hood ornament, and it's super killer. We'll get to that here in just a second, but let's go ahead and sell a badge real quick while we're here. We've done some of these in the past. This is one of the better ones. I've got several of these, but most of these have been bent up so bad it's hard to even tell what they are. This is a 29, 30, 31 era original enamel Chevrolet badge. This one does have a little bit of chipping over here. But like I said, I've got a lot of these, but most of them were pried on. I mean, they're bent completely over. This one is nice and flat, minor chipping, good looking piece. There goes the hearts. 3 inches by 3 inches, basically, about 3 by 3. And see, these were pressed on the back of the grill shell. That's why most of them that I have are bent up badly. Steve's got some. This one presents pretty well. Nice piece. Not a crazy rare one like some of these other ones are, but still a nice, an original enamel badge for a 30 era Chevy. So let's get this one on the timer and get rolling on the enamel badge. Nobody on the enamel badge. Almost 30 seconds in. David W. 15, Tim 20, Ron 15, Kevin 15. I wonder if they were in there and just hung up. Just past the 30-second mark. I wonder if we had a delay to have all those hit at the same time. Tim B at 20 is our high bidder, though, at this point. Yes, it is flat. Ron, 25. It had this button on the back that pressed onto the grill shell, is how it mounted on the grill shell. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. Ron at 25. David got some ads. We still got a little bit of time left yet. Coming out of the wire, Ron at 25. And that does it. Ron at 25, Tim B at a 27, but it was 2 seconds too late. So I had Ron at 25 at the 90-second mark. All right, let's keep moving on with some new inventory. We got a lot of killer auctions. We got some super cool plates tonight, guys. It actually rained a couple times on and off here today, so I did some digging back in the shop. I brought some more stuff in from the yard. We got some cool stuff coming up. But anyway, new inventory. What picked up this week? I got some cool stuff. Our good friend Mike Shook at Auto Artistry. We've talked about him on here before. If you have not been, checked out his website, following his Facebook page, he put our cab over together for us. We haven't taken it back to get it finished yet. He built Dad's ambulance. You guys that have been here for the gathering and saw the gold 51 Pontiac ambulance. He built that car. He called me he was over here a couple weeks ago and said he had some stuff he needed to get rid of. He's trying to clean up around the shop. he's got a bullpen, but he doesn't have a ton of room. You know, when he's got 3 or 4 projects in the shop and then you get 1 or 2 parts cars for each project, it kind of fills up pretty quick. So he had a couple of Ford pickups he wanted to get rid of, 70s era, which you guys know I do like because I've got my 78 F250. So I ran over to Auto Artistry and I picked up about a 76 F150. Actually, I think it's an F100, just regular cab long bed 2-wheel drive, as well as a 78 F150 XLT 4-wheel drive. He bought them for a project he was working on. He grabbed a couple pieces off of each truck. That's why he got them, was he needed this and this off of this one and that and this off the other one to finish this other truck. So I picked those trucks up from him this week. So we'll be getting some content on those. And then went and looked at a bunch of cars and trucks on Friday. Brought one home with me, of course. It was a little over an hour away, so it was a little bit of a jaunt. I don't even know what's in them, Jason. I don't have any clue what motors are in them. I haven't even looked at them that close yet. So we went over to look at this other deal, and there was a 6-cylinder 3-speed F100. I don't think I've got anything in the 70s. Well, that 174, I think, was a 6-cylinder 3-speed maybe. But so I went over and looked at this deal, and the guy's got a long trailer, so he wanted me to come look because he said he'll probably start hauling some of this stuff to me. Some farm trucks that have already been cut off, things like that, a few other cars. But I went to look, so I was not going to not take a trailer and bring something back with me. And I brought something back that I've never owned before, never even really had a chance to own before, and a very unique car. I bought a 1969 Mercury Cyclone. No motor or tranny. It was a 390 automatic car. The massive sloping roof line for NASCAR that they had with the Torinos and the Cyclones that year. To keep the aerodynamics, but that roof just doesn't stop. It just goes forever. So kind of a cool car. Like I said, I don't know a lot about them. I've never owned one. This car, like I said, it's the hood's gone and the motor and tranny's gone. The rest and the front seat's gone. The rest, dash is all in. The back seat's there. All the rest of the body panels are there. The left fender and door's kind of banged up. But the other thing about it, it is a factory red on red car. So it's a red 390 69 Mercury Cyclone. So like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but we're all fixing to learn because I'll do a little bit of research on it. We'll see if we've got a brochure on it. And then, as always, not all the comments on YouTube are always stupid. A lot of times there are guys who really do know some of these cars that actually do post intelligent comments that we can all learn from at times as well. So we're all going to learn a little bit about Mercury Cyclones, probably because I don't know much about it, but we're all fixing to learn. So nothing wrong with that, John. Sounds like a good deal to me. Yeah, and it is definitely a fastback, Pete. Holy cow, that is a long roof line. But like I said, it was cool, and we worked the deal on it. I wasn't going to leave it sit there. That's true, Big Job. I did send him pictures of it. He is actually still in California. He was at Monterey last weekend, and then the Shelby Nationals were in California this weekend. So I've talked to him a little bit, just briefly, because he's been so busy. We did talk Thursday, I think, before I bought the Cyclone. I think it was Thursday we talked because I had not found the Cyclone yet. But I did send him pictures of it. So once he gets back, we'll learn a little bit more about it as well. Mike from Texas is here. So thought that was pretty cool. Who's ready for tonight's badge, or actually a hood ornament tonight? We all ready for a hood ornament instead of a badge? No, we need this badge. I know y'all need this badge. And even maybe this badge. Hood ornament for tonight's emblem. Check this out, guys. Hood top ornament assembly. It is in the Fomoco box. It is brand new. It is super cool. Hey, there's Michael Brown. So let's pop this thing open and check it out. A brand new, in the box, 1953 Ford hood ornament. So definitely getting into the jet age in the 50s. Definitely made it look like a jet. Sweeping wings. You know, Ford didn't have really exotic hood ornaments. They were usually fairly small. Even going back into the late 40s. You know, when you look at Pontiac having light up Indian heads, Buick having bomb sights, you know, Ford was typically a little understated in a lot of their hood ornaments. And this one, not very large, but still really cool. There goes the hearts. It is, just to give you an idea on size, it is 9 3/4 long from tip to tail. That's cool, Glenn. And there's a 6 inch wingspan, excuse me, not 6 foot. You can see on the bottom side of this thing, it is brand new. It's never been used. There's a few small blemishes in the chrome if you look at it closely, but it's still really cool. The Jet Age 1953 Ford car hood ornament. Better than Christmas morning. Well, glad you guys enjoyed it. I know it's a neat piece. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet or not. I don't know if I should sell it or if I should keep it, but man, it's cool. But I knew you guys would enjoy it, so we had to dig it out and check it out. I haven't decided yet, Big Job. I'll keep you in mind if I decide to do something with it, but it's pretty neat. Michael wants to buy. Everybody wants to buy. It's cool. I am going to get it wrapped up good. New hood ornaments, a cyclone, and a cat jumping 24 inches. 72 years old, just like Mike is. Yep, you raise another good point, John. Makes me wonder why you guys keep coming back, but you do. So I guess I got to keep talking, right? How about a hubcap? This is a little dirty. I don't like that. I need to polish this a bit. We can't have this. All right. We got a little bit of shine to it. Not quite. This thing is so great. I don't like not having a good shine to it for you guys. That's pretty close. All right, tonight's cap, going back to the 30s. Oh, check it out. Supercharged super chat from Kevin L. Boom. Hitting us with this other supercharged super chat from Kevin L. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. Always appreciate the super chats, guys. Glad that you think that what we're doing here is at least worth throwing something at it. So Okay, Kenny, I'll take your word for it. I think this is mid 30s. I'm not 100% sure on the exact year. I think it's about a 35 Buick cap. It's a good looking cap. I love these things. Check this thing out. Look at the artwork. I'm going to call it artwork because that's kind of what it is. Look at the B on here, the hex around here, kind of resembling grease caps because they're, again, this is mid 30s, I believe, and we're still in the grease cap era. So people were used to seeing this hex shape on the center cap. A few lines outside around the perimeter here. We do have a scrape along the bottom on this particular cap, but there again, this thing's 80 years old. It does snap on similar to a cap. It is a metal base with a chrome cap on it. That's true, John. Maybe they didn't consider it is, but it sure is now. But a good looking piece, considering this thing is right around 80 years old. Man, this thing really, really pops. I'm not sure if it was for a wire wheel or not, Pete, but I'm thinking it probably was. It's about 8 inches in diameter. Chrome still has a nice shine. Now, I don't know if any of this was painted in the background of this, but I could almost, what I'd almost bet is this background behind the B was probably black, similar to a lot of the grease caps from that era, because that's what a lot of people were used to looking at. You know, just a thought. There's more caps falling. There's so many caps in here, they're falling all over the place. So, you know, that very well could be the case as well. But regardless, you know, like John said, it may not have been artwork then, but it sure is now. And it's a great looking piece. That's true. That's something else. Big job. Buick, mid-30s Buick, Tim. Michael's trying to bid on it. I think this is an extra. We could probably sell this if you guys wanted to. That's whatever you guys think. But Michael's at 10, which I don't think 10 would buy it, but I wouldn't want to even sell it for 10. It's too cool, even if I've got another one. But or last name of Brown. That's true, Michael. That's another good point. What do you guys think? Do we write this one up and do we sell it? Or should I keep it? Put it Michael 35. I'm taking that means you guys want to sell it. What's the verdict? Big Job's like, true that. Yeah. Okay. We're going to sell it. 100% says sell it. Sell it, sell it, sell it. Okay. All right. Let me get stuff rounded up. We'll sell it. Michael at 35. Ron at 45. Michael Brown says sell. Okay. I guess we're selling this cap. Let's get ready to rock and roll here. Let me get the timer up here. Come on. Okay, there we go. We're on the timer. Ron at 45. Michael Winter, 50. What the heck? We'll just do a couple other auction pieces while we're here. I'll get a couple other things ready and keep moving while we're at it. We'll do a couple plates maybe. Michael Winter at 50. B for big money. This thing is a killer looking piece. It really is. I'm sure I've got another one or I wouldn't be selling it. There's no doubt about it. Michael Brown is out. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left. Ticking away, coming out of the wire. Michael Winter at 50. And that does it. Michael Winter at 50. Great looking piece. You're not going to see another one of those very often. Great looking cap. Anybody want to do another Buick piece while we're here? And I got a couple plates out as well, so we'll knock a couple things out real quick here. And then we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Oh, cans, brochures, lots of cool stuff. How about another little Buick piece? I love these things. I've got a couple of extras of these, so I'm gonna sell one. Even though you guys know I love these badges, I'm gonna sell you another enamel badge. A small Buick. The Buick actually came in 3 sizes. This is the small one. This does have a small hole drilled through it. This did happen back in the day quite a bit. People would take these off and drill a teeny tiny hole in them so they could wire them up and display them. Other than that, that's the only chipping where they drilled the small hole. It's not chipped up. It's not beat up. It's still flat. Amazing colors. The back is clean. Put it on a necklace. That's another idea, John. Michael at 10. And it is just under 2 inches. So this is the smaller one. It is just under 2 inches wide, but it is an original, probably 20s era Buick enamel radiator badge. So 100 years old right in that window. Great looking piece. We've got Randy at 12 as we start the timer. Michael Brown, 15. Coming up on that 30-second mark. Just past 30 seconds gone. Michael at 15. I don't know where Buick Man's at. And there's 1 minute. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Randy at 18. Ron, 25. Michael out. Appreciate that. Thanks for playing, Michael. Coming up on that minute 30 mark. We're about ready to wrap it up. My Ron at 25. And Ron adding another one to his badge. Randy was in there 2 seconds too late. Came in at 132. I hit end and it popped up and my phone says 132. Randy, you missed it by 2 seconds. All right, let's catch a couple plates. I got a couple plates here. One, we've done some similar to this. This other one is super cool. Let's do another ham radio plate. We haven't done one of those in a while. They're kind of fun. They're kind of weird. They're kind of funky. And if you're a Packers fan, you're going to love this one, whether you like ham radio or not, because it is green and gold 1973 Kansas ham radio. All different, assigned specifically to the radio operator. This is original paint, original condition. A little bit of discoloration, a little bit of chipping around the edges, but overall, this is a nice looking plate. Michael Brown starting us off at 10. I guess that's one way to look at it, Randy. So let's get this one rolling. 1973 Kansas ham radio. Mark 15. Ron 15. Ron 18. Just past that 30-second mark, coming up on a minute. Now the battle starts. Mark 19. One minute gone, 30 seconds left. Ron, 20. Big Job, 25. Mark, 21. We're coming down to the end. I got Big Job at 25. And that does it. Big Job at 25. Okay, I got one more plate we'll do real quick. So I've already got it set out here before we move on to the oil can and the brochure. This plate, I've got a few of these. I love these things. I'm keeping a few. I decided to sell one more. Buchanan stopping by. Glad you made it back. We've sold a couple similar to this, but it's been a long time. I wasn't going to sell anymore, but I decided to go ahead and let this one go. I love these things. I think they did a great job on these. Going up north to South Dakota. And what I love about these South Dakota plates in the early 60s, this one's scuffed a little bit, but they have Mount Rushmore right on the plate. Jesse's here. I've got a few of these I'm keeping for myself. We sold a few quite a while back. I'm going to sell this one. Michael at 10. You can see the scuffing right there on the print of Mount Rushmore. It is a 1960 plate. This is a printed plate. It is stamped, but the back is bare metal. It's kind of a tannish color. I don't know if it's supposed to be off-white or if it was supposed to be kind of a tan. Black letters, black Mount Rushmore, South Dakota, 1960 license plate with the Mount Rushmore logo on it. So I think these are great. This is a normal size plate. I think it's roughly 12 by 6 like most of these. It is pretty much exactly 12 by 6 on the 1960 South Dakota plate. Here we go, live on the timer. Michael Brown starting us off at 10. And then we'll get to the oil can and then brochure, and we'll probably catch a few more auction items here after a while. Mark, 12. Michael, 12. Mark, 13. Michael, 13. 30 seconds gone. So we're going to Mark 14, Michael 14 next, or what are we going to do here? There's Mark 14. Where's Michael's 14? Michael Brown at 15, breaking it up. When we sold these in the past, they've done really well. There you go, Michael. So I got a feeling we may not be done on this. It may take a little more than this. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. But these plates have been pretty popular when we've sold them in the past. So not sure who we've got sitting out there as a sniper. Sounds great, Tim. Glad you were here for a while. Michael Brown at 15. But these are crate plates. These are awesome looking plates. We're going to find out here shortly because we're coming down to the end. Ron 25. And that did it. The other bids didn't catch it. Big Job had a 29, but it was too late. The 25, the 20, and the 16 all came in right at 129, 130. And then we had Big Job and Mark's 20 after that. Ron Levesque at 25 covered the other two that all hit between 128 and 130. So that was kind of crazy. I didn't figure, I said these usually are 30, 40 bucks. So that's kind of where I figured we were going. Ron at 25 gets it done. All right. Let's get story time real quick. Hey, there's Bill Disc. Kevin at a 22. That was way late. So yeah, there's definitely some delays hanging out there. We haven't done story time in a couple weeks. We're gonna slide one in here real quick just because it's a simple one. I don't think Dad fixed this car. He'll probably remind me here in a little bit. There's no shots of the front end, and I think he bought it wrecked and then flipped it wrecked. Was going to build it because he bought parts for it, but never. But I don't think he fixed the car. April of 1981. There is a tow bill. So I think this car was wrecked, and then it was towed in, and Dad paid the tow bill on it and bought the car on this 1975 Camaro. I think it was a Type LT. Appreciate that, Ron. These are the only two pictures of it. I think it was in a front-end collision, and Dad bought it, ordered the parts, and then I think he sold it just the way it was. I think he literally took this picture as they were loading it up. So if I remember correctly, that's what happened. Pete's digging it. It's an F-body. So not a lot on this other than a few tickets of basically the wrecker bill. Tow bill was $20. And then they had the paperwork where they June 23rd of 81 is when they titled it. And then there's a couple of tickets for parts. That I think Dad bought, was getting ready to fix it, and then ended up selling it. Some moldings, and I can't really read all this because this is kind of interesting. Oh, I know. That's why I brought it up, Bill. Carpeting, but we've got this ticket where he ordered some of the trim for it, and you'll notice that ticket looks a little funny. This was obviously laying in the house right side up when we had a fire. We had a fire in our kitchen when I was a little kid in 81. So apparently this ticket was laying there when we had the kitchen fire. Dad said he sold it to a body guy. I think it was still wrecked when he sold it. So that was kind of interesting. That was kind of a little bit of a flashback when I was flipping through there and saw this ticket with the smoke damage on it, that it had to have been laying in the house when we had that kitchen fire. And a ticket for carpeting as well. So was not around very long. Bought it in April of 81. And then sold it in July of 81. So basically bought it wrecked, paid the tow bill on it, started gathering up parts, and then had somebody that wanted to buy it as it was. So it worked out pretty well, though, because he bought it for $340, ordered about $150 worth of parts for it, and then sold it for $1,400. So, and didn't have to do the work. So not a bad deal. Used to use those aluminum bumpers on stock cars. Yep, that's what it was, John. Made some money, sent it down the road, and didn't have to do the work. So not one we've got a lot of detail on. I do kind of vaguely remember it, but there again, I was 6 years old. I wasn't even quite 7 yet. On the 1975 Chevy Camaro. let's catch the raffle real quick. This week just had a couple people get in, so I want to catch that real quick before I forget. Obviously, this month's raffle, all 4 valve covers going to somebody's collection. This one, Nailhead Buick. If you guys can make it out, it's got the symbol stamped in it. Those actually had a sticker on them. You can blast that, repaint it, and put the sticker back on it. It looks super cool. The Mercury right here, the big M, is actually stamped into the valve cover. That's part of it. The Chrysler Spitfire, a very unique valve cover. No, you almost threw me off, Michael. The poster doesn't go with it. Just the valve covers. You're trying, I understand, but just the valve covers. Sounds good, Bill? The Chrysler Spitfire, and then the Cadillac, the 472-500 era Cadillac script valve cover. Once again, stamped into the valve cover. These 3 are from my buddy's yard. And this one, actually, I got from Nate. Nate Martin gets on here with us for sometimes. He's lives about 50 miles from me. I got that from him. So, yes, all 3 of these came from my buddy's yard. And once again, just to clarify, Heather is not included. This week, Big Job got in and Andy Fox got in. We went through last week's packet. It sounds like most people are going to be available to get on next weekend. So we'll go ahead and plan on doing the drawing next week. And I'll figure something out for September as well, so that we can have some more fun next month with it. September, obviously, going to be pretty goofy for me with the auction coming up, but we'll get something picked out. We'll go ahead and work through it like normal, and we'll make something happen. So we'll go ahead and plan on giving those away next week in the raffle drawing. So, and we've had pretty good participation, so we'll see how things go. We may throw something else in. Regardless, we know we're going to give we're yanking at least 2 names for sure, because we'll give away raffles entries into the next month's raffle at the bare minimum. So, here because of the 5-mile-per-hour bumper rule. So anyway, let's check out a can. Let's talk about cans again. We had a lot of fun with cans the last couple weeks. Let's check out another one. I left it over on the shelf because this pile is here. I didn't want to get it mixed up here and banged up, because it's a really cool can. Okay. It's a little dusty. It's been over there on the shelf. This is a beauty. It is Newell stock. Yeah, no safety. Yeah. So we're going to go to our can book. See what Tom has to say about this can. Here it is, number 779 in the book. I've probably had this can for 8 or 10 years. It is circa 1950 on this Phillips 66 Aviation with Wings. This is Newell stock. It is full, and it is a knockout can. The big wings on the orange and black Phillips logo. We'll start over here at the seam as we look at all of the aircraft around the top perimeter of this can. There goes the hearts, lots of hearts. Helicopter. Great looking piece. Aviation oil across the bottom. It is SAE 40 non-detergent on the top. But this is a great can. Phillips 66 Aviation will offer to aircraft engine operators desiring outstanding performance available in SAE viscosity grades 12 to 60. Consult Phillips specification chart for proper grade for various makes and models of engines. On the back, we see the seam over here on it. It does have a little hickey down here on the bottom and another little hickey over here where it was dropped. But still just a knockout can. When we go to the book, it is can 779 down here on the bottom. And Tom says 779, Phillips 66 Aviation with wings, obviously Phillips Petroleum Company. 1950 is the era on that particular one. So a pretty good can. Michael jumping off tonight. Glad you were here with us tonight, Michael. Yeah, I hope so, Big Job. I paid up to get that thing. $325 on eBay. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, like I said, I bought this one 8 or 10 years ago, and I think I gave $100 for it back then. But there again, it's just, I mean, it's just a beautiful can. But that's what makes cans so cool. I mean, there again, these things were art. It was designed to catch your eye. Even these silver lines against the blue. I mean, it was just designed to be attractive and make you want to grab their product off the shelf. Yeah, it would be, but I'll never sell it because it's awesome. That's right. It's just amazing. Perfect, Mark. Yep, and it is in the text part of the videos as well. So, but yeah, you can go ahead and call me if you got any questions. Not a problem. But there it is, number 779 in the book. There again, if you guys want one of these, I will probably go ahead and try to get these ordered in the next day or two. Just because so I can get your copies in your guys' hands as we start going through some of this stuff, checking out some of the awesome cans in here, and we can get the years and a little bit more information as we are going through some of doing this can segment now. They're going to be 25 if I put them in with your other shipments, John. Sounds great, Mark. Glad you were here. And I do not have you down. Yeah, I do have you down, John. I've got you on the list. And you guys can go ahead and send PayPals on those if you want. Hopefully I'll have them here pretty quick. If I've got to ship you just the book by itself, there will be a couple extra bucks later down the road when we get to that point. But I've got 9 of you down as of right now for can books. So if you want one, let me know within the next day or two before I send Tom a check and get a batch of these headed our way so that I can get them into your auction boxes, maybe even next week if he gets them, if I get them out, if I get them here in time and he gets them headed my direction, I can hopefully get them headed your way. So here in a couple weeks, you guys are going through the cans with us. So, okay, sounds good. Big job. I can do that. Austin wants a book. Okay. So that's 10. Okay. As of right now, big job. Randy Weininger, Charles Fitz, Kevin L., John Anderson, Kevin Brown, Pete Winters, Ron Levesque, Hubcap Dillon, and Austin McCoy. So let me know if you want something. I may order 1 or 2 extras, but I'm not going to order, 10 extra. I'm just going to order what you guys want because I don't need them. I've got one. So I will definitely get at least 10 coming. And, but if you want one, let me know so I can add to that and get it coming this way. Obviously, from what we saw last week, from what you guys are seeing this week, with all of the pictures and all of the information, just a lot of cool stuff in here, as well as some technical information. And even some of this stuff, talking about the seams and the lids by generations. So you're looking at, what years, if you're trying to date a can, it can at least give you a ballpark idea of where to even start looking on age. Have not seen anything on that, Randy, but that is good information. I appreciate you sharing that with everybody. So, a lot more cool stuff to come on cans. Can't wait for you guys to get your books in your hands and checking that stuff up. John already cleared a spot. Okay, promo model, brochure, some ads. We got all kinds of fun stuff coming up yet. Who's ready for tonight's promo model, though? We're always ready for a promo model, right? Bet you're ready for a Hudson badge, though. Once again, another Chevrolet. We're going to get out of Chevys here at one point, but August 29th and 30th. So, okay. As you guys are well aware of, about a year ago, Dad and I went to an auction where they sold a bunch of Chevy promos. They had 84 at the auction. We brought 49 of them home after I bought some from another guy that ended up buying some and added some more to our collection. We ended up with 49. Tractor Mike got one, so we ended up with 50 out of the 84. Tonight's is a little bit funkier. We've done some of these cars, but nothing this early. On the dark green metallic 1973 Chevrolet Vega. Didn't expect that one, did you? 1973 Vega, the early 1971 to 73 style chrome steel bumper front nose on these little early Vegas. These cars are fairly popular. The Vega world, there is a following for the later cars, but the earlier cars are definitely much more sought after in the Vega world. I get a lot more calls for parts for the 71 to 73s. There goes the hearts. Glad you guys are digging it. It is a Vega. I didn't know if you guys would like it or not. One interesting thing about this particular promo, obviously, as we know, most of these are either molded in one color. This one is one of those that has been painted because it is a metallic color. I don't know if you guys will be able to make that out on your screen and see some of the metallic in this particular Vega. If we look at the bottom of it, it is there again, not highly detailed, one piece of injection molded plastic that shows some of the details of the chassis. However, you can see the color of this green versus the color of the painted body to show off the actual factory color is slightly different. So these were molded in a green, but the body was painted to match the factory color that of the car that somebody was trying to order. Now, the interior on this one also done in green, but what's a little bit different, if you guys can see, the shifter and the parking brake are actually silver or chrome. Yeah, I've seen that, Pete. I haven't had time to read it. The 75 Vega they pulled out of a time capsule in Nebraska last week. Article on that in Old Cars Weekly as well. Sometimes, but no, you don't see a ton of them. So we can see it's kind of odd. They have a chrome shifter and park brake handle inside of this. Once again, like most promos, everything else inside the car is molded in the green plastic. Of course, all original tires and wheels. And just like all the rest of these Chevys, in absolutely great condition. Not busted up, not chipped up, not scraped up. Like we've talked about, these things all went. Kevin used to have one. All these promo models, the people that own the dealership, they took what they liked every year. They picked out what they liked. They took them home. They put them in the living room. And these cars were never exposed to any sort of elements. They were never played with. So, unfortunately, there were no boxes. But, man, the condition on these things is just great. I've not touched this. I haven't waxed it. I haven't polished it. I haven't done anything with it. This is exactly how we got it. Vega GT wagon. Yep. A lot of Vegas on the racetrack. That is true, Tony. So kind of an interesting little dude. The 1973 you can see on the plate. Chevy Vega in dark green metallic. How about a brochure? We're always ready for a brochure, right? I know you guys are always ready for a brochure. And we've got some classified ads to get to yet tonight, too, if we get that far. So, digging back into our boxes of our amazing brochure collection that we were able to acquire for our good friend Carrie. Like I said, guys, every time I open another one of these boxes, I'm just amazed. Very fortunate that I had the opportunity to buy this collection. I love it. I love the stuff that's in it. There's some of those premium catalogs that, excuse me, we're going to need to spend some time on. The Ford dealer albums that we've got with the deal, there were just a few of them, but they were the best of the best. Holy cow, this stuff is cool. And like I said, every time I look in a box, and it's kind of a problem because every time I open a box, you flip to another section and it's cool, and it's cool, and it's cool. But, we've done some stuff, some earlier stuff. We did that 39 Packard. We did the 41 GMC. And it's really easy to get stuck in a rut because there's so much cool stuff. So I'm trying to make sure we mix it up so we're not doing just 30s or just 50s or just 70s, because it literally spans 20s to into the 2000s. So I'm trying to mix it up. So I wanted to move forward a little bit and go into the 50s this time with something a little bit different. This is the deluxe brochure for this year in 1957. It is large, but it is their deluxe brochure. When I looked them up to see what was available, they did have a couple of different ones. This was the big brochure, the deluxe they called it, 14.5 by 11. So, way larger than an 8.5-inch sheet of paper. In fact, I'm going to need some room to spread this thing out and show you guys. On the 1957 Plymouth, we've got a lot of brochures, Pete. We've got a lot of stuff that we've set back over the years. If it is something that we have or I end up with that isn't in there, yeah, absolutely, we would definitely add to it. But man, so far, even the stuff I had that I thought was cool is already in there, like the 59 Cadillac. I had a 59 Cadillac brochure I was pretty excited about that I thought was cool. Then I pulled the 59 Cadillac brochure out of that envelope. I didn't feel quite so excited about my 59 Cadillac after that. But, I mean, we would add to it is what we would end up doing as we found cool stuff. But, man, there's a lot of cool stuff. V on the grill. No, it just had an ornament on the grill. We'll see if we can get a better look once we get inside this thing. But one of their big advertising promotions at that time with these Virgil Exner design Mopars was suddenly it's 1960. So we see that throughout this brochure. Suddenly it's 1960. But when we open into the first page, this thing is amazing. And just like the Christine comment from Bill, and this, like I said, this thing is big. You know, opened up, it's 29 inches opened up. Like I said, this is the deluxe catalog. Suddenly, it's 1963 full years ahead. The only car that dares break the time barrier, the 1957 Plymouth Belvedere two-door hardtop sport coupe. Kevin L's liking it. So let's see what else we've got in here. What else we can learn about the 57 Plymouth. Three years ahead with Plymouth's new torsion air ride and sports car handling. This actually, for a sales brochure, is pretty technical. Torsion bar suspension, safety power chassis, Oriflow shock absorbers, ball joint control, new rear springing. Rear springs are longer mounted off center. I mean, look at all this suspension tech that they literally are putting into the sales brochure. It's going to be tough to point this stuff out because this thing is so big. So I'm hoping you guys will be able to see some of this. I'll try to point some of it out, but here's where they're talking about these springs. Where am I at? Where the rear axle is set differently. And what they're going for is to try to get away from this nose diving so that the car's handled better. Ball joint suspension. Just a lot of really technical stuff for a sales brochure. Now, one thing that I also find odd is, remember, we looked at the gold Sport Fury, or excuse me, the gold Belvedere, right inside. That was the set, that was when you opened it up. And the next page you turned to was chassis and suspension. Kind of different, compared to what we're used to seeing now. The second page you turn to is all chassis and suspension specific stuff. Engineered to handle tremendous new power, luxurious dream car interiors. Be prepared to gasp when you first open the door of an exciting 1960 new Plymouth. Here you have a choice of modern, wear-resistant fabrics and an almost limitless combination of harmonious colors. Choose interior for your new Plymouth to express your own personality as surely as does your home. Plymouth interiors say luxury, from the color-keyed wall-to-wall carpets to the ultra-comfortable seats. And the tremendous new power, the push-button automatic, the PowerFlow 6, Plymouth's $50 million Qualimatic engine plant, the fabulous new Fury 301 V8, one of the most rugged passenger car engines ever built. Look at this stuff. Yep, exactly, John. That is 200% correct. And speaking of which, that's literally exactly where this page is at. Right over here, we've got luxurious interior. Over here, we've got power and performance. Now that we're just past the halfway point, now we're actually getting into the different lines of cars. 4 new lines of dream cars with flight sweep styling, the new shape of motion. Flight sweep styling. The Belvedere line, the Savoy line. Try to get this where you guys can see it. This thing is so big, it's kind of hard to hold up. We'll hold it up here for a second, let you guys get a good look at all this stuff. This thing is so big that if there's something specific you want to see a close-up on, let me know so that I can make sure to share it with you. So this thing being 29 inches long, it's kind of tough to make sure you guys can take it all in. The Plaza line, as well as the Suburban station wagon line. The Sport Suburban, the Custom Suburban, the Deluxe Suburban, and the Custom Suburban two-door. Actually, the Deluxe Suburban and the Custom Suburban in a two-door. As well as advances to make driving easier, safer, and more luxurious. Double header headlights, lounge chair seats, total contact brakes, new instrument panel, new control tower visibility. Huh, that's crazy, isn't it, Dylan? Check these out. And down here at the bottom, well, let me get, this thing is so big. These are actually two-door wagons. There goes the hearts. And that puts us to the back cover. So we're going to talk a little bit about the back cover. This does have the dealer information on it as well. From New Hampshire. This one's stamped on the front and on the back with the dealer information. What's really cool about this is someone circled the accessories like they were picking out what they wanted to order. So let's learn a little bit more about it. The V8 models, the PowerFlow 6 models, as well as what comes on both of them. But listen to this. As far as this being technical, the V8 model, the engine type, new, bigger displacement, high compression, Fury 301 V8 with overhead valves. 301 cubic inches, 3.91 bore, 3.13 stroke, 8.5 to 1 compression, automatic choke, new spool type rubber shear engine mounts, quiet quick lift cam, adjustable valve tappets. The fabulous Fury 301 is available in the Belvedere, Savoy, and Suburban V8 models. Plaza models available with improved 277 cubic inch V8 engine. Fury 301 engine with power pack on all models at moderate extra cost. So kind of crazy that it gets that technical. Bore, stroke, compression ratio, all that there. Let's check out some of the accessories that were available. For ultimate driving pleasure and safety, ask your dealer about these accessories specifically engineered for your new Plymouth. Push button power flight, push button torque flight transmission, overdrive, safety sure power brakes, full-time power steering, push button power seat, push button power windows, Plymouth all-weather air conditioner, fresh air heating and defrosting system, custom push button radio, luxury transistorized search tune radio, rear seat speaker, highway hi-fi record player, sweep second electric watch, chrome bumper wing guards, wheel covers, safety padded instrument panel and sun visors, high performance power pack V8, dual exhaust, locked storage compartment for wagons, Solex tinted glass, undercoating, and white wall tires. So let's look at some of the ones that this particular potential owner circled back in 1957. Push button power flight automatic, full-time power steering, but did not want the power brakes, power seat, fresh air heating defrosting system, but not air conditioning. Air conditioning, very expensive option at that point. Luxury transistorized search and tune radio, probably like a Wonder Bar. They did circle the hi-fi record player. I thought that was very interesting. As well as wheel covers, undercoating, and white wall tires were the options that this potential buyer either did select or was considering selecting when he went back to talk to the Plymouth dealer about ordering his new, for 1957, suddenly it's 1960 Plymouth. So let's put this one back away. Glad you enjoyed it, Kevin. These are fun, and guys, we have so much more crazy stuff to check out in these brochures that it's nuts. You know, we're just scraping the tip of the iceberg. I don't know how many. Hey, there's Big Rig Brett stopping in. I don't know how many of these things there are, but there's hundreds, if not thousands of them. We've got a few minutes. Let's catch a few classified ads yet tonight. We'll get ready to wind things down for the evening. But going back to our friends with Hot Rod from 1966, yes, Hot Rod magazine used to actually have classified magazine ads in them. You could send them a check and a description of your car for sale, and they would put it in the back of the magazine. So let's see what was for sale in 1966 in Hot Rod. This was December, I believe. December of 66. We're about ready to wrap her up. Brett, we're going to catch some classified ads, but we're about ready to wind things down. The Billy Mays of car brochures. I think that's a compliment, Scott. I guess I'm taking it that way. But I don't want to sell mine. I love them. I get excited about them, but I don't want to sell them. All right, the Hot Rod Mart, December of 1966. The Hot Rod Mart requirements. 25 word limit per ad, not including name and address. We reserve the right to edit, copy, or refuse ads. While not responsible for accuracy of description, we will reject misleading statements. No ads from commercial firms. Only one car may be listed at any one ad. This limitation not to apply to parts or equipment, however. $10 per ad must accompany each insertion. When photo is included, the rate is increased to $15 per insertion. Due to normal publication schedule, allow at least 2 months from time ad is received until it is printed. Now, we think of today where it's 30, 40, 50 bucks to put it, even to put an ad on the internet can be $29.95. This is December 1966. 10 bucks to run a classified ad. Now, granted, you're talking hot rod, you're talking nationwide. Sounds great, Scott. I'm glad you're enjoying it. There are so many killer brochures in there, guys, and we're gonna have a ton of fun with those things for a long time. 10 bucks for a classified ad was a fortune. We look at the classified ads Dad was running in the late 70s, early 80s in the paper, and they were $5, $6, $8. And that was 10, 15 years after this. So $10 for an ad or $15 for an ad with a photo was a ton of money. That's when Dad was working at the Deep Rock station, and I think he was making $1 an hour. So if it was 10 bucks to run the ad, that was a full day's wages if you had got a couple extra hours in. And if you took taxes out, you couldn't even pay for that in 1 day's worth of work. Sounds cool, Brett. That I took a few lessons, but I never got very far with it. I'd like to get back on it. So anyway, let's see what the guys that spent the money to run ads in the Hot Rod Mart in December 1966 were up to. We're going to start right here with this batch of stuff right here. So let's see what cool stuff's for sale. The first one, 1936 Ford Coupe. 3-window V8, stock equipment, wheel covers, driven daily, body mint. Best offer over $750. Median family income in 1966 was $7,400. So yeah, so 10 bucks or 15 bucks for an ad was a lot of money. And then you think of this 36 Ford Coupe, nice, clean, original stock car for $750. That was a lot of money for a used car in 1966. A lot of money. Sell 1918 T steel body roadster, Chevy engine, featured in this issue. So featured in this issue of Hot Rod Magazine. $3,200 or best offer. Well, let's go find it. You can buy it. It's for sale right here in this ad. Let's go see what $3,200, which almost half of an annual income was for a toy, mind you. Let's see what you got for $3,200. Oh, wow. Check that ad out. That's awesome. We may have to check an ad out here, too. Oh, there's a car I love. That is a car that I actually would. That's a car I would love to have right there. Holy cow. Okay. Pay attention here. Let's get back on track. Okay, here it is. Here's the car that is for sale in this issue for $3,200. Almost half of a family's annual income at that point. That old Shoemaker T. Joining the ranks of the Bucket Brigade, Tim Shoemaker's about to show you his version of that nostalgic model of Ford, the Tijuana Taxi Hornet, all small block Chevy powered. But there it is, this car for sale in this issue for $3,200. So that's what $3,200 would buy you in 1966. Lots of T-buckets in here, actually. Took a minute to find this, to actually find this one. Motivation comes from a stock displacement 57 Chevy 283, rebuilt with factory parts. Grant Rings custom radiator service constructed the radiator from a stock T core and lower tank from a Studebaker. Cooling coils were included in the Glide for the Glide. So it is a 283 Power Glide, basic setup out of a 57 Chevy, powering it. And that's $3,200 in 1966. Pretty interesting, but that's what's fun about checking out these old ads. Let's see what else we got. What else is in the Hot Rod Mart December of 1966? Sell Model A Roadster 389 Pontiac on deuce rails, tube front end, posi rear, $800. Oh, this is crazy. $1959 Ferrari Berlinetta Scaglietti 250 GT in dismantled state. We'll get there in a second, Pete. I wanted to finish up Hot Rod Mart first. Okay. 1959 Ferrari Berlinetta Scaglietta 250 GT, 2 engines in dismantled state, $1,800. I just punched it up, and one sold. When did this one sell? Monterey 3 years ago, $5.3 million. Could have picked one up for $1,800 in 1966 as a project car. But there again, $1,800, you're talking a fourth of an annual income. But there again, that's why we check out these old classified ads. Appreciate it, big job. Sell 427 Ford high performance engine, headers, carbs, transistorized ignition, not run since complete rebuild with standard Ford parts, $1,000. That was a ton of money for just an engine in 1966 as well. Sell 56 Chevy Royal Blue, a 425 horse, 396, tuned headers, alternator, ram log manifold, Mallory gauges, chrome wheels, Goodyear slicks, 411 posi, $1,950. Sell 51 Chevy Custom, 54 Vet engine, which would have been the multi-carb 6-cylinder, completely rebuilt, 40 over 3-speed, $1,700 invested, $600 or best offer. Sell 32 Ford Roadster, channeled, roll pleat interior, Astro Mags, Firestone 500s, 3/4 race Ford V8, Columbia 2-speed, Hot Rod Magazine cover car, $2,700. Man, these are big, big ticket cars. That's why they could afford to spend $10 to $15 to run the ad, because these were big ticket cars in the day. Sell 34 Ford, channeled, 283 vet motor, dual quads, fiberglass hood, $3,000. There is a picture of that little coupe on here as well. This little coupe here, $3,000. There's the little Chevy with a 6-cylinder vet motor. There's the 56. All right, let's catch a few more. Sell 37 Chevy Coupe, 65 Vet engine, balance polish, 327, 365 horse, 4-speed, 411 traction bars, Hurst tow bar, $1,600. Here's an interesting one. 55 T-Bird, black, McCulloch blower, Judson ignition, 3-speed, 2 tops, $2,500. 64 Studebaker Avante. Car's only 2 years old. 64 Avante, 289 supercharged V8, Borg Warner T10 4-speed, gold with tan interior, near mint, $3,450. Now, a lot of these are hot rods. That was stock. A 289 with a supercharger and a 4-speed. That was quite a car for a Studebaker back in the day. Yeah, who knows, Brett? Oh, check it out. Check it out. Supercharged Super Chat from Big Rig Brett hitting us tonight. Boom. Appreciate it, Brett. Supercharged Super Chat from Big Rig Brett. Sell 55 Corvette set for the drags, 352 Chevy, Crowder roller, Schleifer mag, M&H Hydromatic, reasonable sell or trade. Does not have a price on that one. This next car is really interesting. Sell 1964 Mercury Grand National stock car. An actual 64 Mercury NASCAR. Good shape. Latest H&M engine. Holman Moody powered 64 Mercury stock car for sale in the back of Hot Rod. With spare block and parts. There you go, Brett. Total worth $5,000. Sell $3,200 or best offer for a real deal 64 Mercury stock car with a Holman Moody power plant in it. Kind of crazy. All right. I don't know if this is it or if there's any more on the next page. I think that's about it. Yeah. We're going to end on the 64 Mercury stock car, Holman Moody powered. Because you're not going to see one of those for sale for $3,200 anywhere. Anyway, back to this super killer ad. Remember, this is December 1966. Okay? You didn't think we quit while we were ahead, did you? Not only was this, you got to remember, a lot of this magazine is still black and white. Could be, Randy, something like that. Most of the articles in this magazine, black and white. Not a lot of color in here. But check this ad out. Look what GM did. Fold out, full color ad showcasing the 1967s. Big block Corvette, 427 Coupe, 442 Super Sport Camaro convertible, GS, Chevelle convertible, GTO convertible. That was a lot of ad. You okay there, Pete? That's a lot of hearts. In a magazine that was almost all black and white, to put an ad like a pull-out full-color ad in, that was a big, big, big deal. I don't know what that cost them, but that had to have been a small fortune at that point. Now, as we flip to the backside of the pull-out, it has specs on all of these cars. The Camaro SS350, the GTO, the SS396, the GS400, the 442, and the big block 427 Corvette. So everything you saw on the front, it gave you the details and the specifics on the back. I think you're right, Randy. I think that could be what actually needs to happen at this point. Pete was a little worked up. So that was a pretty big deal to, and when you just flip to the page, this is all you see. And then it just goes from there. So I thought that was a pretty amazing ad. Now, the next ad, we caught a glimpse of it as we were flipping through, and it actually is the center of the magazine, so it's fallen out, believe it or not. But we're going to check these ads out as well. These are color, once again, a couple from GM, one from Mercury. But this car is a car that I've always loved. Would love to have one. Don't know if I'll ever buy one, but at some point, this is something I would like to have. Dad had one years and years ago. He sold it to a good friend of ours who restored the car. He sold it probably 12 years ago, and at the time was not really in the position to think about buying anything, but I still really have always liked this car. I do have an air cleaner for it that I've been saving for 25 years, just in case, but I did come up with an air cleaner. At the time, compared to today, it was extremely reasonably priced. I think I give 150, 200 bucks for it. Today, the air cleaner, I think, is $1,200, $1,500. But I've got one just in case I ever do get a 1967 Buick GS. This one is the 400. I really don't care if it's a 340 or a 400. I actually like what some of the stuff they did with the 340. They had a package called the GS 340 that actually had a white car with red hood scoops and red down the rockers, which I thought was a really great looking combination. But your father never told you there'd be Buicks like this. The 1967 GS 400, I've just always thought the 67 GS was a great looking car. And maybe one of these days I'll stumble across the deal on one and get one. But regardless, I've got my Star Wars air cleaner sitting back in the shop right now, just in case I do find one. W30 was Cutlass, Bill. 67 Buick had an air cleaner that was called Star Wars. It was available on Skylark, as well as Riviera in 67. Believe it or not, Pete, if the guy's not going to do anything with it, I've got to go pick it up and figure out what I'm going to do with it. I've got a 67 GTO convertible that a guy's been supposed to have been working on for 20 years, and he hasn't done anything with it for years. I need to go get that car picked up, but I've already got a 67 GTO convertible if I find somebody to finish it. But I really have always liked the 67 GS. Maybe that's because I remember that car from when I was a kid. I don't know. They got great lines. I love the air cleaners. Maybe it's all the above. I don't know. I've just always liked 67 GSs. Yeah, the big job scoops, those do bring a ton of money. And since we've got this center ad out that kind of fell out, we'll check out a few more ads and then we'll get ready to wind down. This is a 67, obviously, a little bit different than the one we just got. But the 67 Mercury Cyclone. What great kitty. Sounds good, Brett. Glad you were able to stop by for a bit. And since we got this center section out, we'll go ahead and catch the last page. We'll see if Pete can handle this. Hopefully Pete can hang in there. May need another pack of cigarettes, even though he doesn't smoke. Meet the Masked Marvel, the 1967 Camaro RSSS in color. You all right there, Pete? So with that, I think we'll get ready to wind things down. Let's see what's coming up next week. This issue was the December 66 issue of Hot Rod with a cover price of 50 cents. All right, what's coming up next week? Not you. Meow. Next week videos for the public. Oh, check it out. Check it out. Kevin L. hitting us with one more supercharged super chat. Even though we're getting ready to wipe or to wrap up tonight, Kevin L. snuck another supercharged super chat in. Appreciate that, Kevin. Boom. Sweet, big job. Next week, you will get public videos. Another one from my buddy's yard. And something above my head may look familiar from that video, I think. As well as what's coming up next Friday night. A box Caprice and a big Viking. A big Viking truck coming up next week. So those will be coming up for the public videos. And as, of course, we will get some more members-only videos up next week as well. But the public videos, you guys can look forward to another one from my buddy's yard, as well as that big Viking and a box Caprice. Tuesday night, I'll be here Tuesday, so we will do Toy Tuesday. Everything, should be pretty normal there. Yeah, exactly, Pete. Yeah, Pete seen that video, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, that's cool." I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" He's like, "That video you posted, that stuff in the back." I was like, "What you talking about, Willis?" And then he told me, I was like, "Oh yeah," because the video just went up, but the truck came in. I bought it over 2 months ago. It's been sitting here for 6 weeks. I did the video a long time ago, so that happens sometimes though, especially the way stuff's been coming in here lately. And I got more stuff to go get next week, so Austin likes it. It's a pretty decent old truck, really. It's just a big truck, but it's a pretty decent old truck. So anyway, we'll get some more members videos up next week as well. As of right now, I have 10 books on the oil can book. If you want one and I don't have your name down, let me know, because I will probably get these coming, because I want to get these back out in your guys' hands. Hopefully I can get them this week, so next week when I'm shipping here in about 10 days, these will be going out, and you'll have them in your hands as we're doing oil cans to check stuff out. Traveling and driving during this time, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. Make it 11. Put Glenn down for one. Okay, we can do that. All right. I've got Glenn. I've got Big Job, Randy Weininger, Charles Fitz, Kevin L., John Anderson, Glenn Solden, Kevin Brown, Pete Winters, Ron Levesque, Hubcap Dillon, and Austin McCoy down on the American Oil Can book. So I will try to get that order in. If you're thinking about it, let me know. Yes, they're 25, Glenn. And I will get them rounded up and start getting them dispersed out to everyone as soon as we can. So I'm excited about it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with these oil can segments. I got a lot of cool ones to check out, and I know you guys have some too. Hey, there's Cream City Pete. I don't have that one. I've got some other Senpico cans. I've actually got a really odd size one that's a little bit bigger than that, but I just don't think I have that exact one. I do have some. I just don't have that exact one, so that's why it kind of caught my eye. So glad you stopped by for a bit tonight, Cream City. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and wind this shenanigan show down for the evening. Or show of shenanigans. I guess it's a show of shenanigans. That would be a better way to put it. appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate all of your support, stopping by, hanging out, spending your Sunday evening with us, making this chat what it is. Sounds good, Pete. And making this community what it is. So obviously the No Buddies page has been awesome. You guys are great about getting on there. It's cool seeing that come together. And appreciate all everybody's support hanging out here and doing what we do. We'll see some of you Tuesday evening. And then hopefully we'll see all of you right back here, same bat time, same bat station next Sunday night. Since it sounds like most people are going to be around. A few of them are going to be busy, but most people are going to be around, so we can go ahead on with the raffle and figure out what the new raffle is going to be. And we'll see how things go. Appreciate the Johnny Carson's comments. It's still crazy to me that you guys think what we do here is of any sort of quality to compare it to something like that. I do try, I work these up. I try to stick with them so we keep things flowing. But it wouldn't happen without you guys. So without you guys, I'm just a dum-dum sitting here babbling into a webcam. You guys are what make this happen. I super appreciate it. I appreciate your support, inviting your friends over to hang out, and really making this what it is. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up. Have a great week, everybody. We'll catch some of you Tuesday. We'll sure see the rest of you right back here next Sunday night for some more Gearhead Interactive live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.